So here, the left side, you can able to see the S3 storage parameters and this architecture, which we will be using some of the parameters within the AWS architecture here. So here the S3 is mainly abbreviated as the simple storage service. So here, before getting onto the S3, so here the one thing which you could be able to mainly see here it is the S3 is not available within the VPC. Are you guys can able to see the VPC here? No. So here, once you have logged into within your IAM, so you can able to access your these storage files. Okay, that is which is deployed in the S3. Okay, so within the VPC only, so within the VPC only here we will be when you are logging into your AWS account, something like this. Okay, so when you are having your VPC, let's say this is your VPC. Within the VPC, you will be having your instances. Okay, so you will be having many instances, but the S3 will be the out of the VPC. S3 will be the out of the VPC. So here, once you are logging into an AWS, so separately you can able to access your instance, and separately you can able to access your S3. So S3 does not need the VPC configurations. So even in the initial diagram also, which you could able to see, even the initial the architectural diagram. So here also you can able to see. So S3 does not connect with the VPC here. Okay. So here we are starting with the properties here. So here the first of all here the S3 permissions. So in the S3 permissions, so here we can able to have a bucket, object, and the folders. So what is a bucket or what is a object? What is a folder here? Now, so here in terms everything will be considered as a bucket here. Okay, so first, so when you want to save any data, when you want to upload or download any data from your AWS account, so first here you need to create a S3 bucket. So this is something like a partition in the hard disk. So without the partition, can you able to save any files, either it is Linux or Windows? So without creating a partition in a proper file system, we cannot able to save any files or folders. So same as like that here, the first step here we will be creating the bucket. Okay, so within the bucket here we will be having the objects and the folders. So what is the object here are considered as the nothing but the objects are nothing but the files. Okay, and apart from this here you can have the other features of the parameters here, the object versioning, the storage classes, and the lifecycle policy, the static web version, and the S3 event. So here we will be seeing all those features one by one now, after completing the how to create the bucket, object, and the folders here. So within the bucket, okay, so within the bucket you can able to have a number of files and the folders. But as far as the free account is concerned, there is a limitation, that is you can able to create only the 100 buckets. Okay, so 100 buckets means, so like for the project wise here we will be creating the different buckets as like this. The support bucket where all the support related files would be there, and the finance bucket and all the finance related files would be there. So like so on here we will be having the many buckets here. Okay, so now let's get into the statements here.
What is folder?
Folder. Folder is a directory.
What is mean? Yeah.
Directory.
So the directory. So we will keep all the object in the directory, right?
Yes.
What's the concept?
So that's what
So
here I
all the
told
objects
you.
placed in the
That's what here I
okay,
told you. So bucket is something like a partition. Okay, so
okay,
let's say when you are having a very new raw hard disk. Okay, so while
okay,
you are installing it in your machine, so once you have bought
okay.
the hard disk, can you able to start saving your files in that, either in Linux
No,
or in Windows? No. So you need to create a partition, right? So here the partition is something
okay,
under here as in a bucket. So once you have created the
okay.
bucket, under the bucket you can able to create, you can able to save as many as files on the folders.
It's like a SVN, right? Tata's SVN or any repository, right? Is it?
No, no, no.
Can we call S?
No, you don't want to get reverse the concepts and all those things. And a simple partition.
Okay,
And a simple partition.
okay.
Okay? Right.
No, no. No. What I mean is, can we call S3 as a storage pool or a storage area like a SVN or any storage?
See,
The
SVN,
storage.
Dinesh, SVN is the version control. So here
Okay, we can able to.
we are having the futures here, but
Okay,
you cannot compare a bucket with the SVN. The properties of a
okay,
bucket can able to make the versioning, but bucket is not exactly the SVN.
okay. Okay, Arun, yeah.
Okay. So here, the S3 buckets. It's a main storage container for the S3. So each bucket should have the unique name across the AWS region. Okay, AWS region reasons. So if you are having in all the data centers. So in Mumbai, how many data centers which we have? So Mumbai is a one region, right? Mumbai is
Two.
one region and we have two data centers. So here if you are naming a bucket called support, here in the same data center you cannot have the same name. That's what they are saying here. So you cannot able to, so you need to create a unique name across your AWS region. But you can able to create the same support bucket if you are hosting the same in your China data center. Okay, because China is a different region and Mumbai is a different region. The next one, the only 100 buckets can be created within the single AWS account. And the bucket ownership also cannot be transferred once it is created. Okay, right. And next, coming on to the files. So these are the static files. So what do we mean by the static files here? So here, the S3
Arun,
mainly
one second.
The S3 mainly focuses on the static files. So here we are having the two types of files, the static and the dynamic.
Arun,
Yes, yes, yes.
Arun, we call it as domain, bucket, nothing but domain.
Domain.
Hostage.
So okay, it's a platform for the hostage. We can say
Yeah.
in such language. So we can consider one S3 bucket for our web hosting. In such a way we can say. So I can able to deploy all my
So,
web pages.
you,
So like my HTML files, jar files, whatever needed for a single domain, I can able to save all the things in the S3 bucket. For an example, if I'm having let's say if I, for an example, if I'm having a website called, thebossindia.com. Okay, so for this website, so for this domain name, so we will be having a one root directory, right? So somewhere else we used to mention it. So here, if you have a bucket call, so if you have a bucket called Bose, okay, so where you can able to enable that into the web hosting. So we will be doing that example here today. So whatever the content which I have under the S3 bucket that is called as Bose, So here I will be having many HTML files and many the Java based files, okay, and many like what is the PHP files also. Okay, so here, so this will be the index directory for the bossindia.com. Okay, so where the here I will be hosting with the Bose bucket. So that is it is also called this is used for the web hosting purposes. So that's what here they are said as the static files. So when we are using the static files, so that is called as the objects here. So each object must be assigned a storage type, which means determines the object availability, durability, and the cost. So assign the storage type. So storage type means so here we are having the different classes. Here we are having the different classes of the storage. Accordingly, we can able to choose the storage type. Okay. So the objects are private by default. So only the owner can able to access those objects. And here's the next one. S3 supports the concepts of the folder, that is nothing but the directory. And the folders are created by using the key name prefix for the objects. So here the key name prefix for the object means, so here when you are naming the folders, okay, so when you are naming the folder name, so here it is advisable to use the key name prefix and not that is to avoid the duplication. That is to avoid the duplication here. Right. So now here in the forthcoming example, so where you will be finding the example to by satisfying all these points here. And coming on to the classes. So here, based on the type of storage and based on the usage, so here the cost is defined. Here the cost is defined by the storage classes. So what way here the storage class defines is the cost. Now let's say, okay, so you are about to order a product in the Flipkart. Okay, you are about to order a product in the Flipkart. The day one, the day one when you are ordering a product, so after till from the day one to day 10 you will be keep on tracking you will be keep on tracking the product the shipment process. Okay, so that is from the day 1 to day 10 where you will be accessing the data very much. That is the data will be accessed many times. Like after 10th day to the 20th day, the access of the data will be very less. That is the usage. And after the 20th day, and after the 20th to 30th day, so where it will be used very less. So here they are making a cost for the first 10 days for the first 10 days, the data what you have stored the class here, they will be charging, let's say, for 1 hour. For 1 hour, it will be charged. It will be charged for the $1 for the first 10 days. Okay. So from the date of the saving date here, from the day 10 to day 20, they will be charging for 1 hour. They will be charging some $0.7, and from day 20 to 30 the charges will be going less. Okay, see in the financial year, when you are considering the financial year, so only at the month of what is that, April, only at the month of April and May, the files will be used great in demand. That is, every time they will be accessing it. And after the May, okay, and after the May, the accessing the file will be get increased. Okay, get decreased. So here for that case here we will be using the maximum usage, and after the May here we will be using the minimum usage, and accordingly the rate will get deferred. Okay, so that's why here we are having the different classes here. So what is that here? The first one is the standard class. It is the default storage option. Okay, and here they are what AWS is saying is, so it is giving the object durability as 99.999999%, and the object availability is 99.99 percentile the object availability is. So what is the durability and what is the availability here? What is the durability and what is the availability here? See, the durability is nothing but how long I am having your data, how long our data is residing in the AWS environment, how long, okay, that is the time, okay, the time, how long that data is being stored, okay, the being stored in the AWS data center, okay, and the availability is how soon you can able to access, that is the, we can call it as a quick access. Okay, so the durability is nothing but, so how long the data is being stored in the AC. Now let's say even when you guys are buying an let's say hard disk, let's say 1 TB hard disk, okay, 1 TB hard disk. So what are the two main things which you will be worrying about, which you will be concerned about when you are buying a 1 TB hard disk?
Warranty.
Sorry,
Warranty.
warranty. Okay, okay. Based on what you will be, yeah, worrying about the warranty. Let's say at the year of 2000 you are buying a 1 TB hard disk, okay, you are started saving the some files, so let's say some movies you are saving it, let's say, okay, so let's say you are saving some movies here, okay, so the data should be there even at the end of a 2010 year, that is even after 10 years when you are accessing the data into your from your hard disk, the same movies should be available. Okay, that is the data should be available. So that is the durability here. And availability here, when you have the data, how fast you can able to access it. When you want to, when you are going for the data transfer, or when you are watching the movie directly from the hard disk, how fast you can able to access the data. So that is the availability. Okay, so here in the real time we should be in concern with both the object durability and also the object availability. Okay, so here this is the most expensive class in the S3. Okay, by default here we will be saving our files in the standard class. Then we now the second class. S3 infrequent. Okay, infrequent. So what we mean by infrequent here? So that is the data is not frequently accessed. The data is not frequently accessed. You see, the data not frequently accessible in the sense, now even in your mobile, so even in your mobile you will be having many applications, right? Let's say the WhatsApp, you will be having the FB, and what are the applications? VLC, okay, and let's say the Kindle, okay, let's say the Kindle. So here in a days of 30, in a days of 30, so in a days of 30, you will be the maximum usage, what you will be using is the WhatsApp and the FB, okay. All the 30 days you will be accessing the WhatsApp and the FB. Okay, and the VLC you will be accessing it at a minimum level. So let's say out of 30 days you will be accessing, let's say you will be accessing for 20 days. Okay, you will be accessing for the 20 days. And the Kindle application, you will be accessing, let's say, only for 10 days. So that is, so here the most frequent the most frequent application which we will be using is the WhatsApp and the FB. And the infrequent, I can say it as a VLC, that is all the 30 days I'm not going to access my VLC application. So that is something like that here, infrequent access. So when you are having a data which you are not accessing on a everyday basis, 2 days once, 3 days once, or 4 days once, so that is considered as the infrequent access. So designed for the objects that we won't access it frequently, but must be immediately available when accessed. Okay, so though we are accessing it 3 days once or 4 days once, but still it should be available when we are accessing it. So if you are having the such situation, you can able to go for the infrequent access. So that is, it is having the same object durability, but the object availability will be little bit less when compared to the standard. So So now let's say when you are hosting a domain, let's say you guys are opening a business called online biryani. Okay, onlinebiryani.com. So this is the website which you guys are hosting it. Okay, when you are hosting it, so all of your the web pages, let it be HTML or the Java or the .NET, whatever the file. So you need the storage path to save all these files, right? So at that time, so which storage class which you will be choosing it, standard or infrequent access? So which storage class you will be choosing it to host your web hosting files?
Standard.
The standard. So here, so because here I am concerned about the object availability. The moment whatever the icons or anything which has been uh, accessible by my customer through my website, so that should be available immediately. So for that case here I will be going with the standard storage. Okay, and also it is a bit expensive when compared to the other classes. And the next class, one zone IA. So what are the features of this one zone IA? There is one zone infrequent access. In the storage class, that customers can choose to store objects in a single availability zone. Okay, so here when we are going for the standard or SA, here we will be choosing the region. Here we will be choosing the region, but whereas in the one zone, we will be selecting the EAZ. That is, here we will be selecting the data center. So even when you are doing the VPC, you guys were selecting the subnet labs like US East 1A, US East 1B, and it will go till 1F. So these are nothing but the 6 data centers. So likewise, so when you want to save your data into a single data center, then you can able to go for the one zone IA. Okay, so if let's say if you are using the Mumbai region having a 2 data center, right? So when you want to store your data in only one data center, then you can go for the one zone, that is the one zone IA. Okay, so here, so what is the advantage of this? The cost of this is 20% lesser than the standard and the standard IA storage. Okay, thus for the cost effective purpose, you can go for this class. Unlike the S3 standard and the S3 standard IA storage classes, the data stored in the S3 one zone IA storage class will be lost in the event of availability zone disruption. So did you got it? So since we are saving the data in only one data center, if the data center is getting crashed, okay, if the data center is getting crashed where you cannot able to avail the data back. Okay, so for that case here it's another option where we can go with the S3 IA. So where all the time your data will be in sync. Okay, where your data will be in sync between both the data centers. Okay, right. So and here it's having the object durability as 99.11 nines and the 99 object availability. Okay, so which will be having a very great access speed. Right. So the next one is the glacier, the last one, the glacier class. So what the glacier class is used for? Okay. So now here it says it is the cheapest S3 storage class. Okay, so though we have seen the standard, the next one is IA, and the next one is one zone IA, and the fourth one was the glacier. Okay, so now here according to the range, the glacier is having the low price. Okay, so here it says the object durability is very high. Object durability is very high. And what happened to the availability here? And what happened to the availability of the data in the glacier? So here, when you are saving the data into the glacier type, so you should not worry about the availability. So let's say when you are trying to access the data from the glacier, it may make a delay of 1 minute or even 2 minutes. Okay, so that is the availability is not provided as guaranteed. Okay, so the least importance of the data. So let's say if you are having some the legacy data in the sense, let's say some old data, or I can say the backup. Okay, the old or the backup data can be able to saved into the glacier, since we will not be accessing the data which is available in the glacier very often. So what it says, designed for the long-term archival storage, okay, and not for the backup. So here the backup would be the two types. So here at sometimes here we will be using something called the online backup. Online backup means let's say when the main stream is getting down, so where the online backup should be up. Okay, so for that case, when you want the immediate recovery, so this glacier should not be used. That is not to be used for the backup. Okay, so when you are trying to access the files at 10 a.m., if you are able to get the files at the 10:05 a.m., then you can go for the glacier. Okay, so for the next second or within a minute or within the microseconds, if you want to retrieve your data, then go for the standard. Okay, so that's what here it is. It may take the several hours to retrieve the data. Okay, checkout and the check-in of data can take the several hours. So here the checkout and the check-in is the nothing but, so when we are opening the file. So when we are opening the file, so temporarily the cache will be available in the S3 storage. So when we are closing the files, this cache will be removed. Even we would have seen the same thing in the Windows machines also. So here when we are trying to save the file, this will be taking several hours. So that's what has been conveyed here. So integrate with Amazon lifecycle policy for the easy archiving. So here we are going to discuss about this. What is this lifecycle policy is all about now. And here within the glacier, here we are having the different types of pricing. If you want to retrieve the data within 1 to 5 minutes, so they have the special price. And if the data wants to be accessed within 3 to 5 hours, they have a special price. And if you want to make the data which should be available in 5 to 12 hours, okay, then they have the special price. Now, for an example, maybe in the finance-related projects, so only at the year end, only at the February or March month, so where we will be accessing all the data. So till the 10 months we will be not giving much importance to the availability of the data. So on those cases, so for the first 10 months, put your data into the glacier. Only for the last 2 months, change your class into the standard, so that you can bring down your cost when you are having your data into the S3. Okay, right. So before starting with the versioning and the lifecycle policy, so let's have the example of what we have discussed so far here. Okay. So here I am getting on into my S3. So just S3. Okay, I'm gonna remove all the buckets here. If I have anything, okay, let me remove it. I think it's taking a little bit time. Okay. So now here I am into the S3. I am going to create a new bucket here. Okay. So here, as I told you, the bucket name should be the unique amount within the region. Okay. Now let's say if I am making it something like the WAPCO. Okay. So now here I can able to choose in which region I can able to host my S3 storage. Okay, let's say I would like to make it in the Mumbai. Okay, next. So bucket name already exists. So in within the region, this WAPCO bucket name already exists. Let's say WAPCO Verizon. Yes. So now with the default actions here, I am creating the bucket. So once bucket is created, so now the WAPCO-Verizon. So this bucket has been created. Now getting into it, so here I am going to upload, here I can able to upload an object. Object is nothing but a file, or I can create a folder. So here I am going to create a folder called, let's say, support. Okay, I am going to create a folder called the support, save it. And then here I am going to upload one file here. Upload, add files. Okay, let me go to my desktop page. Okay, so let me upload this my rough sheet. Okay, so upload it. So click on upload. So it's a progress. Okay, so it's done. Okay. So now, so we have created a bucket. Now we have created a bucket called WAPCO-Verizon. Under the WAPCO-Verizon, here we have created one directory and the one object. Okay, right. So now when I want to access this, let's say when I want to access this, file. Okay, now here I can able to share this link. I can able to share this link with my contacts, so that here they can able to access the file from this link. So this is something like the what we can say. This is something like a Google Drive. Okay, you want to upload your data into your drive and give the URL of the particular file. So here I am doing the same way. I have uploaded the file and I am sharing the file with my contacts. So here I am trying to open the file here. From the link, what I have got it here. Error code access denied. Yes, okay. So here we need to give the permission. Okay, so here we need to give the permission for the file. Let's say make as a public. Okay, now I have made it as a public. Now refresh it. So now the file will be downloaded. Okay, so now can you able to, so this is the content which I have in my rough sheet. So you can able to see the rough sheet here. This is my rough sheet. So this is the data which I have. So there you can able to see the same through the web browser. Okay. So now here we have created a file. We have created a file and also we have created the folder. And the next thing, so by default, whatever the data which we are creating, so it is in the storage class of standard. Okay, let's say if you want to change it. Okay, if you want to change the storage class, click on the file. Okay, and go to the properties. Okay, go to the properties under the storage class. Under storage class, what it is here? as a standard. Okay, so for the standard, the billing will be very high. Okay, to avoid that, let's say if I want to change it, okay, so here you have standard infrequent access, one zone IA, and the reduced redundancy. So reduced redundancy where it is not mostly is used now. The reduced redundancy is like this to reduce the number of the errors which we occur. Okay, so that is the another cheaper one which we have in the storage class. But normally here we will be roaming between the standard IA and the one zone IA. Okay, so if you want to change the class, you can get into by this way and you can be able to change the class. Let's say now I am changing to standard infrequent access. Okay, right. So now coming on to the next things. S3 version. Okay, so what is this S3 versioning is all about? So it's a storage feature to manage and store all old, new, and the deleted version of the buckets and also the objects. By default, the versioning is disabled in all the buckets and the objects. Now, I am into the file. Okay, so I am into the file here. Now I'm getting onto the bucket here, that is the Wapco Verizon. Getting into property. So can you able to see the versioning is disabled? The versioning has been disabled. So by default, the versioning is disabled in the all buckets. So once the version is enabled, we can only suspend it and cannot able to fully disable it. Okay. So here, so what is the reason why we go for the versioning first of all? Now mainly when people working in the development side. Okay, so here we are having the development people. Okay, so day by day when we are saving the file, let's say on the Monday, okay, Monday I have edited some file. Let's say I am having a file called the web server. Okay, my file name is webserver.cfg. That is my configuration file. On Tuesday, I am doing some changes in this. On Tuesday, I am doing some changes in this. Okay, on Wednesday, here I am doing some changes in this. On Thursday also I am doing some changes. Okay, in a normal way. In a normal way, so whatever the changes what I have done on the Thursday, which will get reflected, right? Which will get reflected. Now I want to see the output or the changes what I have done on the Tuesday. So how can we able to make it? So as a human, as being a human being, we cannot able to remember all the stuff what we have done, what are the changes which we have done on the Tuesday. So instead, so at the end of the day, whatever the version which we are, whatever the files which we are saving, so which will be served in terms of a version. So this is the initial file. On Tuesday, when I'm saving it, it will be saved in a different file as a version 1. On Wednesday, it will be saved as a version 2. On Thursday, it will be saved as a version 3. So based on this versioning name, here you could be able to take out the file on the particular day. So this is something called as a SVN for your information, Dinesh, the version control. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So now here this will be mainly useful for the. So this will be useful mainly for the developers. So day to day when they will be making the code changes in their deployment files, and they will be testing their application with the V3 version. If it is not working, they will be having a backup plan with the V2 version. So on that cases, it will be highly usable. So what it says, suspending versioning only prevents the new version from being created. So what is the meaning of the suspending versioning only prevents new version from being created? From being created in the sense, let's say for 4 days till Thursday you are using the versioning is enabled. The versioning is enabled. On Friday, let's say you are disabling your versioning. Disable. Okay, disabling the versioning. So it doesn't mean that the previous objects will get deleted. It doesn't mean that the previous object will get deleted. The previous objects will be available from Friday. Whatever the files I am saving it, say everything will be having only a single version. When I'm having as the web server, okay, since I have disabled the versioning on Friday, so after the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, here I will be having only one file since the versioning has been disabled on the Friday. So also one more point, when we are disabling the versioning, it doesn't mean that the previous version files will be get deleted. So this is also one of a question in the AWS certification. So all the objects with the existing version will be available with their older versions. So versioning can only be set on the bucket level, which applies to all within it. So whatever the properties which we are having within the bucket, where the versioning will be available to all the objects within the bucket. Right? Okay, so now let us set this versioning and let's see how it is working. So currently the versioning is disabled. Okay, I'm gonna enable it. Okay, enable the version. Okay, I have saved it. So which is under the Wapco Verizon directory. Okay, right. So in my desktop, I'm gonna create a new file. Let's say Red. Okay. So my first content is let's say OpenStack. Okay, this is my content of my Red Hat file. Okay, save it. Okay, I have saved it, and I'm going to upload. Where is that? Okay, here it is. I'm going to upload this file in my bucket. That is Wapco Verizon. So upload, add files. So what are the files? Red Hat, right? Upload it. So here I can able to see the Red Hat file, which has been uploaded on 9/49. So I'm going to do some changes after one day. Let's say I'm going making another changes. Let's say Ansible. Okay, I'm saving it. And on the second day, now for the second time, I am uploading the object. The Red Hat file, upload. Okay, it is uploaded. Now the third, I would like to make it, let's say the third day. So here day by day I am editing the file. I am editing a single file called Red Hat. Okay, now here I am uploading this same file. Upload, add files, Red Hat. Upload it. Okay. So now for now here I cannot able to see the different types of the Red Hat file which we have created it. Okay, though we have enabled the versioning. So if you want to show the versions here, if you want to show the versions, click on the show button. so that here you could be able to see the different versions of the Red Hat file. So with the timing, it will list it and auto, and also it will say what is the latest version. Okay, let's say this has been edited on Wednesday, this has been edited on Tuesday, and this has been edited on Monday. So by using this way, there is the different levels. By using these different levels, I can say that it has been versioning has been enabled here. Now here I can able to disable here. Okay, I can able to disable the versioning now. That is the suspending. So suspending doesn't mean that the previous version will get vanished off. Now I am suspending the version. Okay, so currently the three versions files are there, which you can able to see. Okay, now when you are showing it, three versions are available. So again, I am uploading the file. So where you should have the four versions. Red Hat upload. Okay, now I am showing it. Show. Okay, since we have disabled. Okay, since we have disabled the versioning, so here you will be able to see only the four versions are there. Okay, so where there is, that is the without the changes. So without the changes, here you could be able to see the four versions of the files here. So this is nothing but the version. Okay, right. So before your hands-on. So before your hands-on, let's proceed with the life cycle. So what is the life cycle is all about here? Life cycle. Okay. Let's say when you are working on the files, okay, when you are working on the particular parameter, either it is DB file or PLSQL file or PHP or whatever it is. So if you are in a project from January to the project lasts for January to May. Okay, at the first month, where you will be accessing all the object files. Okay, that is from day 1 to 30. Okay, after February month, you are accessing your what is that? Your usage. Your usage will be very less when compared to the January. That is, let's say from 40 to 60. Okay, from March again the usage will be very less. Okay, so here the day by day when the usage is getting less, so here we can able to use the different classes of the storage here. If you are storing your files throughout for all the 5 months in the standard class, think about your billing. If you are saving your file throughout all the 5 months only in the standard class, your bill amount will be very expensive. Okay, so what I'm suggesting here is whatever the files which you have in January, so let it be in the standard. Okay, when the days are changing to February, in the February month, the same files, let it change it to IA. Okay, let us change to IA, and at the March month, let it go to the Glacier. Okay, so that is into the backup mode. Since you will not be using the file very frequently. Okay, so for this month, let's say if you are paying some $100, for the second month you will be paying some $60, and in the March month for the same file here you will be paying $30. So whereas at the end of a month where you will be getting the total as only $190. Okay, and now here if you are making the storage, okay, so if you are making the storage for all the 3 months in the same class, that is $100. Again in February, if you are making in the same storage as $100. If you are having all the months as this standard storage, where your billing comes as to the $300. Okay, so in that case here we need to be careful. So on what type of storage class which we are saving it. For that case here we are having the life cycle policy. Okay, so this can be applied. So this can be applied only to the buckets. One thing. An object lifecycle policy is set to rules that automate the migration of object class to the different class based on the time interval. So where it will be changing the class, the storage class, which will be changed based on the time interval. So by default, we can able to see that the lifecycle policy will be disabled, and it is customizable to meet our the company's data retention policies. So that is this is the retention. So though I want all the data should be saved within myself for the next 3 months, but still here I can able to use a different storage classes. So great for automating the management of the object storage. Okay, that is which will be the cost effective. Okay, since we can able to change the from 1 month to the another month, the cost will be very effective. So here the same example I have given. For the first 30 days, it will be in the standard storage. For next 30 days, it will be in the infrequent access. And the next 30 days, it will be in the glacier. And after the 30 days, that is after the 90 days, after the 120. So when it comes, it will be as a 120 days. After the 120 days, I don't want the data. Okay, so it will be deleted. So this is something like automation what we are doing here. So now let's perform the same. So in your under your S3 bucket, go to properties. Okay, so go to the management. So here you will be having something called as the life cycle. So click on the life cycle rule. You can name your life cycle name. Let's say backup rule. Backup hyphen rule hyphen 1. Okay. Next. So the current version, so I can start it from the current version. That is again the current version. Okay. So in the current version, here I need to clean up export object, delete, control multi uploads. Current version. Okay. So now expire current version of the object after 365 days. So here I don't want to make that now. Let's say for the 90 days. Let's say for the 90 days. One second. So here it is. So here, so see, this is something like writing a script. So even in Unix or any other platform, so where we used to do it by this way, by using an hyphen m time. So let's say after 5 days, move this file to a backup folder. Okay, let's say after 10 days, delete those files. Okay, so I don't want to unwanted files in my hard disk, so that it will be occupying my memory. So for that case, so here after 5 days of let's say if today is April 16, okay, if today is April 16, I can able to find the files till 11. Okay, always I can able to find the files till 11, that is it will be in the backup mode. Okay, so before that files, before the date is 11, so where it will be deleted. So where it will be deleted in the sense, so if today is 16, I cannot able to see the files before 6. So that is the rule what I am writing here. So same as like that here, we are setting up the rules. So add transition. Okay, so let's say for the first 30 days, the file will be in the standard class. After 30 days of creation, the file will move to the standard infrequent access. So that is after 30 days, your cost will be reduced for that particular files. Okay, and here let's say after 20 days. Okay, so after 20 days, 1 second. Okay, so the minimum of 30 days is required. Okay, so let me make it as a 40 days. So after 40 days, it will be moved to the one zone IA. Okay, and then if I want to make it, if I want to move it in the backup function, that is the Amazon Glacier type. So I can able to make it to the after the 70 days. Okay, so now this is the transition what I'm doing here. It is okay, changing to from one class to the another class. And coming on to the next, if I want to delete the object, if I want to delete the object after 90 days, I can able to delete the object. So here, expire current version of object after 90 days from the object creation. Next. Okay, so here I am going. So here you could able to see there is an error. Days in transition action for the storage class for the filter prefix 30 days more than okay, right. Okay, I don't want the one zone here, right. Mhm. Okay. So what we have made here it is the rule. Okay, if you want to now, if you want to analyze it, so for the first 30 days, okay, when the file is created, from 1 to 30, the file will be in the standard class. Okay, from 30 to 40 days, it will be in the IA class. Okay, from 40 to 70. From 40 to 70, it will be in the glacier class. Okay, and after the 70 days, okay, and after the 70, the file will be deleted. The file will be deleted. So that is the rule which we have created here. So this is nothing but the life cycle policy. So by doing this way, unwanted files or less access to files which will be remaining, okay, which will be remaining in your storage. So we can able to have a proper hospitality work on doing this. So where people working on the Linux or any other platform, the way they used to do it within the scripts, or people working in Windows, they used to do it in the PowerShell. Okay, but here the Amazon is giving an option everything in terms of quick. So people even doesn't know have the programming background. They can able to use these features within the S3 to make the hospitality work. Okay, now in the lab part. Okay. So in the lab part, so can you guys can you guys start creating the and a bucket called XYZ? Okay. So you cannot able to create a bucket called XYZ. So you need to create with the another different names. Okay, according to your name, which is not replicating in your within your region. Okay, and upload any document. Okay, here I am making it as abc.doc. Okay, and enable the version for your bucket. Okay, and then upload the three versions of your document. Okay, for 3 times. So disable the versioning. Okay, and after that upload your object again for 2 times and check the difference. Okay, and do it. So here what I said is and observe the difference before and the after enabling the version. So once you are done with the versioning, then create a life cycle policy, life cycle rule. Create a life cycle rule with below transitions. Okay, shall we start doing this?
Yes, Arun.
Shankar,
Yeah, Arun. 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 Yeah, Arun.
boss. Yeah, any problem with your internet, Shankar? So you're logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out.
I don't know, some network issue.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. I think you will be having the option also for work from home, right?
Yeah, I'm home
Okay. So I think since you will be the dedicated person you in your office, most of the time you will be also working from home, and better you can able to get the lease the line for broadband.
I'm using it, but not good for the past 2 days.
Hello, sorry, I'm not able to get you. Your voice is breaking.
I'm, I'm using at one, but it's not good for the past 2 or 3 days. For some
Okay,
issues.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, boss.
I'm
Yeah.
working on it.
Okay, okay.
Hello, Arun, Dinesh, Arun.
Yeah, yeah, Dinesh, tell me.
Whether means the uppercase can be used while creating the buckets.
Okay, it is okay. To avoid confusion, don't use any case sensitive. Don't use any upper cases. That is
Okay.
the standard format of creating the buckets and the objects.
Arun, so for this, how will we be charged actually?
Looks to know what I can pronounce.